Hi everyone, good morning. Hope you're fine and ready to challenge the Singapore math. Let's go straight to the problem. There are three boxes, each containing a different type of chocolate, namely type A, type B, and type C. They have a total mass of 16 kilograms. The ratio of the mass of type A chocolate to the mass of type B chocolate to the mass of type C chocolates is 4:3:1. So there are three quantities and their mass is in the ratio 4:3:1. Here, the number of type A chocolates, just take a clear look here. This is the number. It talks about the number of chocolates. Previously, this was about the mass of the boxes. The number of type A chocolates is 4/5 or 4/5 of the number of type B bars and half as many type C chocolate bars. If 6 bars of type A chocolate weighs 1 kg, find the total number of chocolate bars in all three boxes. I know what you're thinking. This is convoluted, confusing, or you know, the problem, the statements written itself is quite long, but just hold on. We are going to actually break it down into smaller chunks and then just put them and piece them together and definitely solve this problem. And then you will find that it's quite easy, right? Where do we start? We start at a point where we know the relationship between all three quantities, the type A, type B, and type C chocolates. And that's with the mass. We know that the mass of type A is to type B to type C is in the ratio 4:3:1. All right. So let's go ahead. Type A, we represent it with 4 units because it's 4. And type B is 3 units. And type C is 1 unit. So this is how we represent the ratio that is shown here. And these units are of the same size, right? The units shown here for the three quantities are of the same size. So now let's bring them together first, right? And then we just color code them so we know that this is type A, this is type B, and type C. All right, that's just for ornamental purposes. And they have a total mass of 16 kilograms. So this whole thing is 16 kilograms. Now we have some clarity. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units, right? 8 units, and that is equal to 16 kilograms. So we know 1 unit will be equal to 16 divided by 8, which is 2 kilograms. So 1 unit is 2 kilograms, which means all of these guys here, each of these units is equal to 2 kilograms or represents 2 kilograms. Now, we go to the second one. If 6 bars of type A chocolate weighs 1 kg, right? So 1 kg of chocolate is equal to 6 bars, right? Now we have type A 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 or 4 times 2, 8 kg. So 8 kg is equal to 8 times 6, which is 48 bars. So type A, we have found that there are 48 bars for type A. Can we apply the same logic here? No, we cannot, because we know that their mass is 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6 kg, but we don't know if these chocolates, they are the size could be smaller, right? So because what's been given here, if 6 bars of type A chocolate, they're specifying type A chocolate weighs 1 kg. That's one clue here for us to understand that maybe the size of this is not equal to this actually. And the second is they're also unnecessarily or additionally giving this information. Type A chocolate is 4/5 of the number of type B bars and half as many types of chocolate. So that with those two things, it's clear definitely that we cannot use the same logic to find out how many type B and type C are there. So let's just say for right now, type A chocolate is 48 bars, right? We will just, I'm just putting this aside because we have got what we want. Type A chocolate is 48 bars. We don't need any of these workings right now. Now let's go to the second part, which deals only with the numbers. The number of type A chocolate is 4/5 of the number of type B bars and half as many type C chocolates. So type A is 4/5 of the number of type B bars, which means type A is 4 units. 5 goes to the second one, type B bars. So type A is 4 units, type B is 5 units. This is type A is 4/5 of type B, right? 4 out of the 5. So that is the relationship between type A and type B. And we also see that type A is half as many type C chocolates, or we can say there is 1 unit for type A and 2 units of type C. And just remember, we already have type C. Type A is this much size. So when we say 1 unit, it has to match with this size because they are representing the same type A chocolates. And so type C would be 2 units, 2 such units here. And another thing to note here is this is equally divided into 4 units, smaller sized units, which means this should also be the same. So we can just merge these two so that we don't have to have a duplicate type A here. This also means if this is equally divisible into 4 smaller units, this we can divide into 4 smaller units and this also into 4 smaller units. So that's it. So now we know that type A is 4 units, right? And type C is 8 units and type B is 5 units. And they are all divided into the units of equal size. So here type A, 4 units actually is equal to 48 bars, right? So 1 unit should be equal to 48 divided by 4. So this 1 unit will be equal to 12 in numbers, 12 bars, chocolate bars, right? So each of these boxes here represent 12 chocolate bars. So here again 12 chocolate bars, 12, 12, all of these represent 12 chocolate bars. Because here this ratio, whatever we worked out, it's only based on the number of chocolates or number of chocolate bars, right? So now if you want to find out the total is, because each is 12 and there are, how many of them are there? 8 plus 4 is 12, 12 plus 5 is 17. So 12 times 17, which gives 204 chocolate bars in total. So find the total number of chocolate bars in all 3 boxes. So that's 204. I hope this was clear. So let's move on to solving the same problem using algebra. For the sake of those who just joined for algebra, who skipped the previous portion, I'm just going to read the question once again. There are 3 boxes, each containing a different type of chocolate, namely type A, type B, and type C. They have a total mass of 16 kilograms. The ratio of the mass of type A chocolate to the mass of type B chocolate to the mass of type C chocolate is 4:3:1. The number of type A chocolate is 4/5 or 4/5 of the number of type B chocolate bars and half as many type C chocolate bars. If 6 bars of type A chocolate weighs 1 kg, find the total number of chocolate bars in all 3 boxes. So here again, we start with a point where we know the relationship between all the 3 quantities that are involved, type A, type B, and type C. See, type A, type B, type C are in the ratio 4:3:1. So let's write down type A, type B, type C. So, in ratio, if it is in ratio, right, this is the simplest form. So we can write as 4x:3x:1x because the x would be a common factor in all of these values, right? So we represented it as 4x:3x:1x. Now we have another vital piece of information here. they have a total mass of 16 kilograms. That is, the type A, type B, and type C chocolates have a total mass of 16 kilograms. So this is the total mass of type A is represented by 4x, type B by 3x, and type C by 1x. So if we add them together, 4x plus 3x plus 1x, that should be equal to 16 kilograms. That is, 4 plus 3 is 7 plus 1 is 8. 8x is equal to 16 kilograms. And this is an equation. In an equation, we can add, subtract, multiply, and divide any value on both sides. If we do it on both sides, it does not affect the equation. So we want to remove the 8 here. We divide by 8 here. So 8 gets cancelled off. Here divide by 8. So x is equal to 16 divided by 8, which is equal to 2 kilograms. So type A chocolate, the mass of type A chocolate is 4x, so which is 4 times 2, which is 8 kilograms. Right? We have found the mass of type A chocolate. Now this statement here, if 6 bars of type A chocolate weighs 1 kg, the reason we skipped that and came here is because this is where there is a link or relationship between the number of bars and the mass. That is only for type A actually, right? So let's put that down. 1 kg is equal to 6 bars. This is only for type A, right? Because it clearly says 6 bars of type A chocolate weighs 1 kg. So 1 kg is 6 bars. 8 kg is 6 times 8. That is 48 bars. So type A, we have found out it has got 48 bars. Can we use the same logic for type B and type C? No. For two reasons. One, it very clearly says 6 bars of type A chocolate weighs 1 kg. It does not generically say that 6 chocolate bars is equal to 1 kg. And the second is there is additional information given here in terms of fractions, but that is specific to the number of chocolates. So definitely we have to work more in order to find out the number of type B and type C chocolates. So the number of type A chocolate is 4/5 of the number of type B bars. So the ratio is 4:5 actually. So type B, I'm just putting it type A in the middle because I know that it's actually the references here is type A is compared with type B, and then type A is also compared with type C. So from this one, we have found out type A is 4y, type B is 5y. We are converting a fraction into a ratio here, right? And so then second statement states, and half as many type C chocolates, that is type A chocolates, is equal to half as many type C chocolates. So again, 1 unit for type A and 2 unit for type C. So 1Z is to 2Z. Why do we put Z? Because this is a separate a ratio that we are putting it in here. So this as Z may not be equal to Y, so that's why we are writing it separately. But what we do know is that this quantity here 4Y is the same as the quantity here 1Z because it refers to type A. So 4y should be equal to 1z, right? So if 4y is equal to 1z, 2z should be equal to 8y, right? So we can convert these two times 4 here to make it 4y. So this is 4y, or 1z is just equal to 4y, right? If 1z equals to 4y, 2z will be equal to 8y. Now, the reason why we did this is we want to have a direct relationship between B, A, and C, all the three quantities. So now we can straight away write here 8y. So the ratio of B, A, C is 5y is to 4y is to 8y. And that is the relationship between the three quantities. And we already know that 4y, this quantity of type A, we already figured out that there are 48 type A bars, right? So 4y should be equal to 48, and that's because of the result that we got here. And y is equal to 48 divided by 4, which is 12. Now all we need to do is how many y's are there? 8y plus 4y plus 5y. That is equal to 17y. And when now y is 12, so 17y is equal to 17 times 12, which is 204 chocolate bars. So there are a total of 204 chocolate bars in all three boxes. I hope this was interesting and clear, right? If you have doubts, please, as usual, just comment and I will try to get back to you. Have a great day. Happy learning. Bye.